Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Mother's Day to all you fantastic mothers out there. I hope you have a beautiful day and you get spoiled from your kids and your hubby. Because I do think hubbies should spoil their wives on Mother's Day. I really do. She brought his children into the world. So I think that deserves just a little something, don't you? I'm going to talk about Gypsy again. Of course, always talk about Gypsy. But I'm going to talk about her in a different light now. Remember how Dee Dee would do just about anything for Gypsy to get her to have the best childhood ever. So she would scam, she would malinger, she would, do fraud, whatever. Whatever it took for her to give Gypsy the best life she could give her. Because she knew Gypsy wasn't well. And in her mind, I think she really did think that Gypsy wouldn't live long. And she wanted to make sure that she had or got everything she ever wanted just in case, right? In Dee Dee's head, she wasn't sure at the time what Gypsy had. So for her, Gypsy could die anytime. She didn't know. The doctors didn't know, right? So now I came across this one video of this guy. Now listen to what this guy says and we'll talk about it.
A Florida father is going viral after showing just how costly a day trip to Disney World has become.
Before we even got into the park, it cost me $30 just for parking. And even being a Florida resident, tickets for a family of 5 with one child under 10 was still $974. The rest of the family decided they want to go to dinner at downtown Disney Springs. This place was my literal hell, totaling $245.27. The grand total for our day was $1,391.91.
I kind of had a feeling it would go viral. It's very relatable. It's family friendly.
Okay, so this guy, like 99.9% of the freaking population, can't afford to take their kids to Disneyland. Can you imagine for a family of 4, one day, $1,000? That's rent for a month. And then you wonder why Dee Dee did the stuff she did to get Gypsy to go there a lot, because she knew Gypsy loved it so much. She knew Gypsy was into the princess fairy tales and stuff like that. So, of course, one place you're going to hit is Disneyland, right? Where all this stuff was born. So she did everything she could in her power to make sure that she gave Gypsy the best childhood ever. Something that 99.9% of us never got. Not that we had bad childhoods, mind you, because you know what they say, you don't miss what you never had. But I think every child thought about it at least once, that they would like to go to Disneyland. You know what I mean? Especially back in our day when Disneyland was such a big thing, Nowadays it's so common, I think, more than anything, but still so expensive. My younger son just came back from Disneyland with his wife. It was kind of a delayed honeymoon because when they got married, they were both just started new jobs and they didn't want to take a honeymoon right away. So they took one this year and they went to Disneyland because my daughter-in-law loves Disneyland too. But my son, the other son, who has 2 daughters, 2 little ones under the age 6, one's 6, one's 3, and he can't afford to bring his kids to Disneyland. I mean, granted, we're in a different country and we'd have to use airfare and motels or hotels or whatever. But even if you live in the United States and you don't need the hotel or you don't need airfare, it's still very, very expensive, right? Gypsy got to go for free. She was first in the lineups for the rides because of her wheelchair. She got doted on hand and foot. They made sure she had the best experience any child could ever have. And what does Gypsy do? She turns around and calls her mother names. She lies about her mother. She makes other people say bad things about her mother. She does nothing about it. She doesn't care. She never cared about her mother. She had, I think, a deep-rooted kind of hatred for her mother. I think it was a love-hate relationship, but in the end, it started towards more hate because Dee Dee knew what Gypsy was up to. She really knew. I'm pretty sure she knew. And she was trying to steer Gypsy away from that. But Gypsy was not having it. She wanted the big D, and that was it. Now, on the other hand, her father. Watch this video, and we'll talk about this.
I have been very jealous of my sister. And it's stupid, but the simple fact that she grew up with our father. She got to have him at prom. She got to have him teach her how to ride a bike. All the things that I never got to. And it hurts. I think about what could have been. I look at her, my sister, and I think maybe I would have just been just like her if I would have lived with my dad. You know, maybe I would have been cheerleading captain or something, you know.
So Gypsy does have daddy issues, big time. And I think in the back of her head, she fantasized about her father a lot. Not necessarily romantically, you know what I mean, but she fantasized about how it would have been if she had a dad in her life full time, like Mia did. And she was very jealous of Mia for that. She had her dad, and she didn't, you know. So, yes, I think daddy issues was a big part of Gypsy's case, crime. And here's another video just to show you.
Where's your father during this time?
Louisiana.
Did you ever talk to your father while you were in Missouri?
It's a complicated answer.
Did you ever speak to him on the phone?
I did, but my mother was always present.
Did you ever tell him what was going on?
No, sir.
Now, she called her and her dad's relationship complicated, which I don't doubt, you know. She said she would speak to him on the phone, but she didn't see him a whole lot, which kills me because when Gypsy was smaller, they all lived in Louisiana. They all lived around the same area. It's not like he lived in a different state or something like that, or like, I knew he was on the water most of the time. So that could count for some of it. But when he was home, he could very well have brought Gypsy to his place for a day or two. But I don't think Christy wanted that. I don't think Christy wanted Gypsy around her kids. And I don't think Christy wanted the responsibility of having to look after a child whom she thought was handicapped. She didn't want to look after Rod's other child. I think in Christy's mind, she just kind of wanted to forget that Rod even had more children. She kind of steered him away from that. Like, she's too complicated, she's too messy, she needs too much, we can't handle that, you know, we've got enough on our plate right now, so just leave her with her mother and that'll be that. Forget about her. I think that was I think that was Christy thinking that. You know what I mean? I think she was a big, big part of Rod not seeing Gypsy. Because I think if Rod had free reign, he would have went to see Gypsy a lot. I think he loved Gypsy. I really do. Back when she was small, I think he really did love her. She was his firstborn, you know? That's special. But I think Christy had a big part in him staying away from Gypsy a lot. I really do. And her having the daddy issues, just think, Ryan's like 6 years older than Gypsy, you know? She always kind of went towards the older men. I mean, when she was seeing Dan was in his 30s and she was like 19, you know? Kind of sick, in a way. You know what I mean? I mean, I know movie stars and celebrities do it all the time, and that doesn't excuse what they're doing either. I still think it's sick, okay? When you think that you're dating somebody who is the same age as could be your child, that's twisted, in my opinion, okay? Maybe not for some people, maybe it's okay for them, but for me, I think it's twisted. Like I said in a previous video, 5 years one way or the other, for me, is fine. But when you start to go over that, it's kind of, you know, sick, I guess. My opinion, like I said. Anyway, guys, that's my video for this morning. Please like and subscribe. It helps me in the algorithm, and I hope you mothers have a fantastic day. Everything in this video is my thoughts, opinions, and or alleged. Bye, guys.